Welcome to SA News Weekly News Update. We'll cover the top stories from across the United States, important developments worldwide, and new insights from the world of health and science.
On Wednesday, December 17th, the United States Senate voted 77-20 to pass the Fiscal 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA. The legislation, which previously passed the House of Representatives, authorizes a record $901 billion in annual military spending. The bill has been sent to the White House for the president's signature. This year's NDAA includes several specific fiscal and policy mandates that deviate from initial executive requests. Key provisions of the bill include a 4% across-the-board pay raise for military personnel and the authorization of a specific $1,776 Warrior Dividend bonus for active-duty troops, funded through redirected Pentagon appropriations. The legislation also imposes a legal floor on U.S. troop levels in Europe, requiring the Department of Defense to maintain at least 76,000 personnel on the continent unless NATO allies are formally consulted. This provision accompanies an $800 million allocation for the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, split into $400 million installments over the next 2 years to pay American companies for weapon production. On Thursday, December 18th, the president signed an executive order directing the formal reclassification of marijuana under federal law. The order initiates the process of moving cannabis from Schedule I, drugs with no accepted medical use and high potential for abuse, to a lower tier on the Controlled Substances Act schedule. This action follows the December 10 House vote that signaled legislative support for the shift to bring order to the chaos of varying state-level legalization frameworks. The reclassification specifically alters the federal government's role in 3 areas: research, banking, and criminal enforcement. Under the new order, federal agencies are instructed to remove barriers for scientific study of the drug's medical utility, particularly for veteran-specific healthcare. The shift also provides a legal pathway for cannabis-based businesses to access traditional banking systems and credit, which were previously restricted due to federal anti-money laundering laws. Simultaneously, the administration clarified that this reclassification does not equate to nationwide recreational legalization. Federal law enforcement maintains the authority to prosecute illicit sales and trafficking that occur outside of state-regulated systems. On December 18th, the U.S. Department of State notified Congress of a massive arms sale to Taiwan valued at more than $10 billion. The package is one of the largest single military transfers in history between the two nations and focuses on asymmetric defense capabilities. The primary components of the sale include advanced missile defense batteries, upgrades for existing F-16 fighter jet fleets, and a significant fleet of naval surveillance and attack drones. The timing of the announcement coincides with increased military activity in the region. Following the notification, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a formal diplomatic protest categorizing the sale as a violation of existing sovereignty agreements. In response to the U.S. move, China launched a series of patrol and strike drills involving naval vessels and fighter aircraft near the median line of the Taiwan Strait. The sale is structured to bolster Taiwan's porcupine strategy, which emphasizes high-mobility defense systems that are difficult for an invading force to target. Specific items in the $10 billion package include the National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System, NASAMS, and Harpoon coastal defense systems. This move follows a year of increased U.S. presence in the Indo-Pacific and occurs alongside Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi's recent statements regarding regional security. In a significant shift following the fall of the Assad regime in late 2024, the new interim government of Syria, led by Ahmed al-Shara, formally signed an agreement this week to join the US-led global coalition against ISIS. The announcement was made by Syrian Information Minister Hamza al-Mustafa, who stated that the agreement is currently political in nature and does not yet include a direct military component. The move follows a high-level meeting between Shara and U.S. officials earlier this month. As part of this diplomatic realignment, the U.S. and the UN have begun the process of removing long-standing sanctions on Syrian central banking and energy sectors to facilitate national reconstruction. On November 6th, the UN Security Council had already adopted Resolution 2799, removing specific Syrian individuals from the Al-Qaeda and ISIL sanctions lists to enable their participation in the new government. On the ground, this week also saw a move toward internal reconciliation. The commander of the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF, Mazloum Abdi, publicly praised the anti-ISIS agreement on December 11th. He confirmed a phone call with U.S. Special Envoy Thomas Barrack, during which they discussed accelerating the integration of the SDF into the Syrian state.
New medical data released this week highlights a breakthrough in glycation-lowering strategies as an effective treatment for age-related metabolic and inflammatory disruptions. The research, focused on the liver, found that reducing the levels of advanced glycation end products, AGEs, can significantly alleviate liver inflammation and improve metabolic function in older adults. The studies focused specifically on the link between growth hormone dysregulation and liver health. Scientists found that high levels of certain amino acids, specifically tyrosine, are linked to shorter lifespans in men due to their role in accelerating glycation processes. By implementing a diet and supplement protocol designed to lower glycation, researchers observed a marked improvement in insulin sensitivity and a reduction in chronic liver scarring, fibrosis. This discovery provides a non-invasive avenue for addressing age-related metabolic diseases. The findings suggest that monitoring and managing glycation markers in the blood could become as standard as checking cholesterol levels. The medical community is now reviewing the data to create sex-specific dietary guidelines, as the impact of tyrosine and glycation appears to vary between men and women. During the week of December 13 through 20, large-scale humanitarian operations were conducted in the flood-affected regions of northern India. On December 18th and 19th, relief teams under the guidance of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj successfully drained floodwaters from approximately 650 acres of land in Dandu village, Deeg district, Rajasthan. The operation utilized heavy-duty drainage motors and high-quality piping provided to the farmers free of cost. Similar efforts were recorded in Pur village, Bhiwani district, Haryana, where standing water had previously rendered hundreds of acres uncultivatable. These interventions occurred just before the observation of National Farmers' Day, Kisan Diwas, as part of a broader campaign to provide logistical support to agricultural communities. In addition to disaster relief, the organization facilitated multiple dowry-free marriages, Ramaini, and blood donation camps at Satlok ashrams across the country to support local health systems.
And that wraps up this week's bulletin. Thank you for joining SA News, and we'll see you next week. Truth that you want to know.